Hey guys, and welcome to a brand new video here on FPL Now. Today we're going to be going over a potential wildcard draft for Game Week 10. So if you're excited for the video, make sure to drop a like down below. Leave a comment, are you wildcarding this week? Subscribe if you're brand new, and let's get into the video. So, starting things off, the goalkeeper combination that we have is Turner and Areola. To be fair, you don't really need Turner at this point. You're probably not going to be playing him at all for the foreseeable future. And as well as that, he may even lose his spot as Forest #1 goalkeeper. I personally don't think he will. He's not really been doing anything badly. It's just there is that competition there because we did just sign a goalkeeper as well in the transfer window, so could always lose his spot. He is like 4.1 now as well, so if you don't already have him, it's probably not worth it, and you may as well just buy like a 3.9 mil keeper. It's always nice to have two playing keepers, don't get me wrong, and if you have the funds, you know, go for it, like, because it's just two playing keepers if anything ever happens to Areola. But at the end of the day, it's not something you really like necessarily need. If there is money elsewhere that you could obviously use for your squad, then yeah, downgrading Turner to like a 3.9 mil keeper is definitely viable. I don't see a problem with that really. Areola is going to be a main goalkeeper. Really nice fixtures coming up for West Ham. Obviously Everton at home this week, and then Brentford, Forest, Burnley, Crystal Palace, and yeah, hopefully, I mean, West Ham have been good this season. Yeah, they just got absolutely destroyed by Villa, but yeah, West Ham are having an alright season. They're definitely doing a lot better than they were last season. And just Areola, he's 4.2. Is he 4.3 now? I'm not too sure if he's gone up. No, he's still 4.2. So yeah, definitely the best goalkeeper in terms of like price to have with the fixtures coming up as well. I would definitely go with Areola. Other options as well, you don't get me wrong, there is like Leno, Flecken maybe if you really wanted to go that way, but no, I think Areola and Turner, or Areola and a 3.9 mil keeper is fine enough for a Game Week 10 wildcard. And even after the Crystal Palace game as well, it's not even like the fixtures go really bad. Like Spurs, obviously tough fixture, but then they've got Fulham, Wolves. You know, it's not bad at all. Like it's for the next like 8 game weeks, you can just be fine with Areola playing like every single game. And then, you know, if worse comes to worse and you have to change your goalkeeper, you know, it is an annoying transfer to make, but it's not going to be a player that's really getting you a ton of points, really. Like, they're not going to be keeping a clean sheet every week. They're not going to be saving a penalty every week. It is just what it is. But either way, those are the two goalkeepers. At the back, we've got Matty Cash, we've got Gay, we've got Burn, Gabriel, and Simicas. Now, depending on how much you have, you could be upgrading Gay to an Anderson. I'd have enough money for Anderson. I've just kind of put this in the draft if you don't have enough money. I mean, Anderson is the better option to have 100%. I really like him as an option. And, you know, after the Spurs fixture, you wouldn't be playing him this week. Then they've got 3 like really nice fixtures coming up: Burnley, Everton, and then Luton. So obviously, it's up to you. It's depending on like your money and stuff. But obviously, Gay is like 4.5 instead of Anderson, who's like 4.8. So yeah, there is obviously a 0.3 difference. It's a little bit like Porro and Udogie, where Porro is like a little bit more money, but he's a much better option in terms of like the attacking potential. Obviously, the Spurs fixture, last night's fixture, was really unfortunate for Udogie owners. Apparently, he felt something at like half time. And then the manager was like, yeah, we gave him like 10-15 minutes to see if he could be like running it off and stuff, but he like still felt it, so that's why he came off early, like 5 minutes before the clean sheet. So yeah, I mean, that's not a situation where like Porro was the better pick than Udogie. That's just really unlucky. It could have happened to Porro. It's just one of those things. Like, Porro has better attacking numbers, but you can't legislate for a player going off 5 minutes before the clean sheet because they're Portsmouth. That can happen to anyone. But yeah, it's the same kind of situation where like Anderson is better because of the numbers and stuff. But if you don't have the money, then yeah, Gay is still a really nice option. Obviously, Cash is a really nice option as well. He's now 5.1. So yeah, he is just shot up in price so much, which is unfortunate if you're on a Game Week 10 wildcard, because these options like Cash, Watkins, players like that are just going to be a lot more expensive. Yeah, you're definitely paying a lot more for those players now. But anyway, I've got those two. I've also gone Dan Burn as well. I don't think Newcastle defense is a necessity on a Game Week 10 wildcard unless it's Trippier. You can definitely make an argument for Trippier, but the Newcastle defense just isn't like... If you look at the fixtures, obviously, like Wolves away is a good fixture, Arsenal at home, then Bournemouth away, then they've got Chelsea and United. 2 home games, but not 2 games where you'd expect them to keep a clean sheet. So it's not like you definitely need them at all. It's just like a playing player that's, you know, in a really good defense, and if you do need someone off your bench, then you can obviously play him. So yeah, I mean, if you need the extra funds, then yeah, you could always drop Dan Burn to somebody else. But he's just in this squad just simply because of the points I just made. Gabriel also in the squad as well. Sheffield United at home this week, really nice. Obviously you've got Burn and Gabriel playing each other, but that'd be fine because in game week 11 you would literally just play Cash, Gay, and then you'd also play Simicast as well, so you'd be fine with that, and then you just bench Gabriel and Burn. But yeah, Gabriel is in this draft just because of the fixtures coming up, really nice. The cheapest Arsenal defender that's obviously going to be playing 90, looks to have retained his spot. Obviously it was a little bit of a hiccup at the start of the season with him like losing his spot. I don't know if there was like a transfer on the cards or something like that, but either way he is now a 90 minutes man, and he's going to be playing, like, you'd like to think every single, like, he's not missed a game since game week 3 now, so he's played 90 minutes in every single one. So yeah, very much happy with Gabriel over Saliba. And as well as that, I think Saliba is kind of like nursing a small injury, so Gabriel is an even better option for that, and he loves a bullet header as well, so hopefully he can get one relatively soon. And then also Simicast, yeah, I mean the early sub was a little bit unfortunate in the last game. He did take like 3 corners though, so he does have that attacking threat. Robertson's out for like 10 weeks with surgery and stuff. So yeah, as a playing player, then that is definitely someone you can always bring in. I suppose someone else you could bring in is a different like Brighton defender, maybe, if you really wanted to. I don't know how much Dunk is this year. Yeah, Dunk's 5 mil. So if you kind of have the money to go for Dunk, then that's always an option. Obviously, Estepinian would be on this draft if he wasn't injured. But yeah, Brighton, they just aren't good at keeping clean sheets. So I understand with the fixtures coming up why you'd want a Brighton player, but for me, I don't think they're that much of a necessity. I think this is a really nice back line for a Game Week 10 wildcard. It sorts you out for a while, yeah, they all rotate really nicely. And like I say, when Robertson does come back, you can just get rid of Simicast for a different 4.5 mil defender, or a 4 mil defender if you want. If you don't have the money for this back line, you can always downgrade like Dan Burn to a Kabore, or even like Roberts as well, or something like that, like a 3.9 mil player. If you need the money, that's definitely nothing wrong with that. Anyway, though, that is the back line. In midfield, we have Salah, Saka, Son, Bowen, and also Palmer as well. So obviously, Salah's in there. He's just had a price rise, I do believe. He's now 12.8, which is obviously unfortunate because he just keeps rising, and he's got some really nice fixtures coming up. But yeah, Salah on penalties. He's just got back-to-back braces. Obviously, a really good option to have on your team right now. Saka is also in this draft as well, just because of the fixtures coming up. Again, a little bit unsure if he's going to be on penalties, like, because they give him out like candy. Like, they give him to Odegaard, give him one to Havertz the last time they got one as well. So I think if it's like a really important penalty, maybe Saka will take it. But I mean, Odegaard, I don't think he's missed one yet, so it's between those two. But either way, Saka is still, I think, the best Arsenal midfielder to have. I don't necessarily think you need to triple up on Arsenal because there's just so many other good options, and also with the money situation as well, you won't be able to have like 3 Arsenal players, and also there's just not enough options. Like, there's not enough midfielder options to have them all, and all these other good players. But yeah, Saka is in this draft. Also Son as well. I mean, Son or Maddison, I think I prefer Son. Just simply because he's playing through the middle. Should be on penalties as well. It would have been really nice if they got one last night, just so we can finally see who's on penalties. I think it'll be Son anyway, but obviously we just don't know, because obviously Maddison took them for like Leicester and stuff. I don't think he had the best record though with penalty with penalty kicks, so I like to think Son would be on them, but again, we'd have to wait and see. But yeah, I really like him on this draft. I think he's a really nice option. And yes, I mean, Spurs fixtures, they are going to be getting a little bit rough soon. Obviously, Crystal Palace is fine. Chelsea at home's okay. Then Wolves away. But then after that, we've got like Villa, City. They've got like Newcastle coming up as well. So yeah, I still think it's nice to have him just because he's a really good option. But it's one of those where we were tripling up on Spurs in game week 8, and now you only really need one. Like, there's not really much point of having a defender either, because like I say, Udogie could potentially be injured. We need some more information on that. And then Porro is quite expensive as well. So either way, Son's on the draft. And then also Bowen, really nice option to have. Did score a very lucky goal over the weekend. But yeah, with the fixtures coming up for Bowen, I just really like him as an option. I think he's had a price rise as well, 7.4 now. So yeah, a little bit unfortunate with the wild card with another price rise there for Bowen. But either way, still really like him, and it has to be on this draft for me. I don't think there's, like, obviously you've got like Matoma as well that could also be on the draft, but I don't know. Even though the fixtures are really good for Brighton, I like, maybe a Cole Palmer for Matoma would obviously be great, but I just don't think I'd have the funds for that. So if you have the funds, then obviously Matoma would be a really nice option. But yeah, I've gone Cole Palmer. I mean, the fixtures are terrible for Chelsea, don't get me wrong. Like, Brentford's not too bad, but they've got Spurs, City, and Newcastle. The only reason he's here is he's a great enabler. And as well as that, on penalties, you know, that for 5 mil is ridiculous. And he's playing out of position as well, and he's playing in like a position which allows him to get forward, allows him to get more shots on target and stuff like that. So I think as an enabler, he's really, really good. Other enablers are like Gordon, Neto, and stuff like that, but they're not on penalties, whereas Cole Palmer, you know, is. And his minutes are okay as well. For like a 5 mil midfielder, like 83, 85, 77, you know, since he's been playing a lot more minutes, the fixtures have been like, they've actually been playing, you know, won a couple of games, they drew against Arsenal, like, he's a good option. I like him as an option. I think he's a really good enabler. Probably one of the best midfield enablers in the game. And you don't have to play him every week either. Like, you have 5 playing defenders here that are all good options that you can easily play. Like, when he's got City at home, you just play Dan Burton, who's got Bournemouth away. You know, it's just an easy swap there. So that's the midfield. And then up top, we have Archer, who obviously is another enabler. We have Watkins, and we also have Haaland as well. I don't think I would go with any other strike pairing, to be fair. Obviously, Alvarez is really nice as well. You've got Solanke, which could also be a good option, although Bournemouth's fixtures do get quite bad pretty soon. So yeah, I mean, Watkins, I feel like you have to have him. Like, Diaby is not cover for Watkins at all. I think Watkins is just in a league of his own at the moment, and he's another player that's just going up price rises constantly. So that is the up front, and then obviously Haaland. I've seen drafts without Haaland, but I don't know. I think he's out of form, quote unquote, but he still had like 10 attacking returns in like, what, 9 fixtures. So when he's in form and he's back to scoring hat tricks, you're going to want him in your team. And he's not a player you can easily just bring in. Like, if you don't have Haaland and you're needing to bring him in, it's not like you need a 0.5 mil. You're probably going to need like 3-4 mil to upgrade someone to him. So yeah, that's why he's just like, he has to be on the draft in my opinion. But anyway, that's the wildcard draft for Game Week 10. Obviously there's European matches this week, so this could change, but as of right now, if I was on a wildcard for Game Week 10, this is probably the team I would go with obviously maybe a couple of changes if up to you. Like, you don't have to have Turner, you could go for Anderson over Gay, you could go for, you know, a different defender over like Burn, who's obviously going to save you a little bit more money. You could go for a Neto over Palmer, it's up to you. But yeah, that's the wildcard draft. If you enjoyed it, drop a like, leave a comment, subscribe if you're brand new, and until next time, have a great rest of your day, and peace.